As Marcus Aurelius famously said, "What stands in the way becomes the way." Yet, many today fail to grasp the true essence of Stoicism. While Stoicism is celebrated for its teachings on inner strength, it is frequently misunderstood. Picture a man who believes being stoic means concealing emotions and managing everything solo. He's mistaken. In this video, we'll reveal 7 common misconceptions about Stoicism and how to address them. By the end, you'll understand how Marcus Aurelius' genuine teachings can improve our lives. Let's dive in and explore authentic Stoic wisdom. Misconception 1. Stoicism means suppressing emotions. Imagine a man stoically enduring chaos with a face of unwavering detachment. This portrayal, often reinforced by movies and media, implies that Stoicism requires the suppression of emotions. But is this truly what Stoicism teaches? The widespread belief that Stoicism demands emotional suppression is flawed. Modern individuals frequently interpret Stoic principles as a call to become emotionless automatons, cutting off all feelings to maintain composure. This misconception arises from a superficial understanding of Stoic texts, leading to emotional repression rather than healthy management. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and a renowned Stoic philosopher, wrote his reflections not as an emotionless ruler but as a deeply introspective individual. He frequently documented his frustrations, fears, and sadness. Instead of letting these emotions overpower him, he sought to comprehend them, viewing them as natural human responses manageable through reason and reflection. Stoicism does not promote the suppression of emotions, but the development of emotional intelligence. Stoic philosophers like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius advocated for understanding our emotions, recognizing their origins, and responding to them with reason. Emotions are natural, and how we react to them defines our Stoicism. Seneca, another prominent Stoic thinker, recommended training our minds to rise above fortune and view the world's wealth with hope, boldness, and defiance. He did not mean we should become unfeeling robots, but rather that we should master our emotions rather than be controlled by them. It's about finding balance, acknowledging our emotions without letting them dominate us. Consider a modern professional-facing workplace criticism. Instead of suppressing frustration or anger, a Stoic approach would involve acknowledging these emotions, understanding their source, and then choosing a rational response, such as seeking constructive feedback or addressing the issue calmly with a superior. Picture a manager who receives negative feedback on a project he worked on diligently. His initial reaction might be anger or disappointment. A misconstrued Stoic approach would suggest ignoring these feelings, but a true Stoic response would involve stepping back, understanding the root of his emotions, and then choosing a measured reaction. Perhaps using the feedback as an opportunity for growth rather than taking it as a personal attack. Proper emotional management is foundational for a deeper understanding of Stoicism. However, managing emotions is just one area where modern interpretations often fall short. Next, we'll explore another common misunderstanding related to self-reliance. Misconception 2. Stoicism is about absolute self-reliance. Real men don't need anyone. They are entirely self-sufficient. This extreme self-reliance is often wrongly associated with Stoicism, but does Stoicism truly endorse such isolation? Many modern individuals equate Stoicism with an ideal of total self-reliance, believing that a true Stoic should handle everything alone without seeking help or support. This belief is not only incorrect but also harmful to personal growth and well-being. Think of the rugged lone wolf, the image of a man who tackles life's challenges solo, never asking for help or showing vulnerability. This image might seem appealing, suggesting strength and independence, but extreme self-reliance can lead to isolation and burnout, ignoring our fundamentally social nature. Stoicism emphasizes self-discipline and personal responsibility, but also highlights our interconnectedness. The Stoics believed in the concept of a cosmopolis, a universal city where all humans are citizens. This implies recognizing our dependence on others and valuing relationships as crucial to our well-being. Epictetus, another key Stoic philosopher, spoke about the importance of community. He suggested we should treat others as we wish to be treated, implying a mutual support system and recognizing that we are not isolated but part of a greater whole. True Stoicism encourages seeking support, building strong relationships, and contributing to our community. Imagine a man struggling with mental health issues. Instead of isolating himself and trying to manage everything alone, a Stoic approach would involve seeking support from friends, family, or professionals. Recognizing one's limitations and the value of community is essential to true Stoicism. Consider John, who feels overwhelmed by stress at work and personal issues at home. A modern misinterpretation of Stoicism might lead him to tough it out alone, viewing seeking help as a weakness. However, by embracing genuine Stoic principles, John reaches out to a trusted friend, talks to a therapist, and finds solace in his community. He understands that seeking support is a strength, not a weakness, a recognition of his place within the larger human family. Moving from self-reliance to interdependence underscores the nuanced understanding required for practicing Stoicism correctly. Another common misunderstanding involves perceptions of external achievements. Let's explore how this misconception shapes modern interpretations of Stoicism. Misconception 3. Stoicism is about achieving external success. Success is often gauged by wealth, status, and achievements. Many believe Stoicism is a route to such external successes, but does Stoicism really prioritize these markers? In a world fixated on success, it's easy to see why some modern individuals misinterpret Stoicism as a means to achieve external goals. This belief aligns with the self-help industry's portrayal of Stoicism as a tool for personal success and competitive advantage. Picture the numerous books and seminars promising wealth, power, and fame through Stoic principles, often emphasizing how Stoic practices can give you an edge in business or sports, portraying Stoicism as a ladder to success. However, this view misses the essence of Stoic philosophy. Stoicism teaches that true success lies in inner virtue and wisdom, not in external achievements. The Stoics valued virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance over wealth, fame, or power. They believed that external success is beyond our control and should not be the measure of a good life. Despite being an emperor with immense power and wealth, Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the fleeting nature of external trappings. In his meditations, he reminded himself that true fulfillment comes from within, focusing on becoming a better person rather than acquiring more power or wealth. For Marcus, true Stoic success was living in harmony with nature and virtue, not achieving external accolades. Consider a businessman facing a financial setback. A modern misinterpretation of Stoicism might lead him to focus solely on regaining wealth as a measure of success. A true Stoic approach would instead emphasize maintaining integrity, learning from the experience, and exercising resilience regardless of the financial outcome. Picture a CEO facing bankruptcy with immense pressure to recover. A superficial understanding of Stoicism might drive him to obsess over profit margins and investor satisfaction. However, by embracing genuine Stoic principles, he chooses to act with integrity, treat his employees fairly, and make decisions based on virtue rather than desperation for financial recovery. He learns and grows from the experience, understanding that his worth is tied not to his company's success, but to his character and actions. Shifting the focus from external success to internal virtues helps realign with true Stoic principles. Another area ripe for misunderstanding involves the concept of control. Let's delve into how modern interpretations often misrepresent this key Stoic idea. For Stoicism requires total control over one's life. manage what you can and disregard the rest. This simplified mantra implies that Stoics should dominate every facet of their existence. But is this truly achievable or even desirable? Many contemporary individuals believe that Stoicism demands absolute control over all elements of life. This misconception can cause frustration and an unfounded sense of failure when things inevitably don't go as planned. Consider the task of trying to control every single detail of your life, from the weather to other people's actions. Such an endeavor is both impossible and a constant source of stress. This misinterpretation of Stoicism can lead to chronic anxiety, as no one can control everything. Stoicism does not advocate for such extreme control. Instead, it differentiates between what is within our control and what is not. According to Epictetus, we should concentrate on our own actions, judgments, and responses while accepting that many external events are beyond our influence. Understanding this helps cultivate tranquility and minimize unnecessary stress. Epictetus famously remarked that some things are within our control and others are not. He stressed that we should focus on our own actions, thoughts, and attitudes, which we can control, and accept that external events and others' actions are beyond our control. This distinction is vital for maintaining mental peace and avoiding undue stress. Picture an athlete preparing for a competition. Misinterpreting Stoicism might lead him to obsess over every factor, from his diet to weather conditions, trying to control the uncontrollable. A Stoic perspective would involve focusing on his training and effort while acknowledging that the outcome is influenced by various external factors. Take Sarah, a marathon runner. She can manage her training schedule, diet, and mindset, but she cannot control race day weather or the performance of other runners. By focusing on what she can control, her preparation and attitude, Sarah can face the race with calm and focus, regardless of external conditions. She understands that true success lies in her effort and virtue, not necessarily in winning the race. Embracing what we can control and letting go of what we cannot is central to Stoicism. Misinterpreting this principle can lead to the next common misconception: avoiding pleasure. Misconception 5. Stoicism means avoiding pleasure. The notion of the Stoic as someone who renounces all pleasures and leads a joyless, austere life is widespread. But does Stoicism actually call for such asceticism? Some modern individuals interpret Stoicism as requiring the renunciation of all pleasures, believing any indulgence signifies weakness. This extreme view can result in an imbalanced life lacking in joy. Imagine a monk-like figure who rejects all forms of enjoyment, living in strict austerity. While this image may convey strength and discipline, it also suggests a joyless existence. The belief that Stoicism demands the avoidance of all pleasures is a misinterpretation that can lead to a bleak and unfulfilled life. Stoicism does not require the avoidance of pleasure, but rather the avoidance of being controlled by it. Stoics taught that pleasures should be enjoyed in moderation and with wisdom. The goal is not to be enslaved by desires, but to appreciate pleasures without compromising one's virtues. Seneca often spoke of enjoying life's pleasures wisely. He did not advocate a life devoid of enjoyment, but rather one where pleasures are savored mindfully and in moderation. He warned against being dominated by desires, which can lead to dependency and loss of self-control. The aim is to enjoy pleasures in a way that aligns with virtue and wisdom. Consider a man who loves gourmet food. A misinterpretation of Stoicism might lead him to abandon this pleasure entirely. A true Stoic approach would involve enjoying his meals mindfully, avoiding overindulgence, and ensuring that his enjoyment does not lead to unhealthy habits or ethical compromises. Picture Alex, a food enthusiast who delights in trying new dishes and dining at fine restaurants. A misinterpreted Stoic approach might make him forego these pleasures, thinking they distract from a virtuous life. However, by embracing genuine Stoicism, Alex can continue to enjoy his culinary adventures mindfully, savoring each bite without overindulgence. He learns to appreciate the experience without allowing it to dominate his life or lead to unhealthy habits. Understanding the balance between enjoying pleasures and maintaining control is essential. Misconception 6. Stoicism is only for major life crises. Many people turn to Stoicism during significant life challenges, but some think it has little relevance to everyday issues. Is Stoicism merely a crisis philosophy? There's a common belief that Stoicism applies only during major life crises like death, illness, or financial ruin. This misconception limits the potential benefits of Stoicism in everyday life. Reflect on the stories of ancient Stoics facing exile, slavery, or political upheaval. These dramatic tales might suggest Stoicism is only useful in extreme adversity. However, this view overlooks the practical applications of Stoic principles in daily life. Stoicism is a practical philosophy designed for everyday living. The teachings of Stoic philosophers encompass daily practices and attitudes that help manage minor inconveniences and major crises alike. It promotes consistent self-improvement and mindfulness in all areas of life. Epictetus, born a slave and later a prominent Stoic teacher, often focused on everyday challenges in his teachings. He provided practical advice for handling daily frustrations, relationships, and personal growth. True Stoicism is about finding wisdom and tranquility in every moment, not just in times of disaster. Consider someone dealing with daily traffic stress. A misunderstanding of Stoicism might suggest it's irrelevant to such minor annoyances. However, a Stoic approach would involve techniques like deep breathing, reframing thoughts, and practicing patience to maintain calm and perspective. Take Tom, who faces a stressful commute every day. Instead of viewing this as a minor inconvenience, he applies Stoic principles to enhance his experience. He practices deep breathing when stuck in traffic, reframes his thoughts to see the commute as time for reflection or listening to audiobooks, and exercises patience. By doing so, he transforms a daily frustration into an opportunity for personal growth and mindfulness. Misconception 7. Stoicism is a rigid, unchanging doctrine. Some people see Stoicism as a strict, unchanging doctrine, suggesting once you're a Stoic, you're always a Stoic. But does Stoicism truly allow no flexibility? Some modern individuals perceive Stoicism as a rigid doctrine requiring strict adherence to unchangeable rules. This perception can make Stoicism seem unapproachable and unrealistic. Imagine a set of ironclad rules dictating every aspect of your life with no room for flexibility or personal interpretation. Such a rigid approach can feel confining and impractical, especially in a constantly changing world. However, Stoicism was not meant to be practiced rigidly. It is a flexible philosophy that evolves with understanding and context. The Stoics encouraged adapting their teachings to fit personal circumstances and contemporary challenges. Flexibility and continuous learning are crucial for practicing Stoicism effectively. Marcus Aurelius, despite being an emperor, often wrote about the importance of adapting to change and remaining flexible in his meditations. He recognized that life is dynamic and that our approach must evolve with it. True Stoicism involves applying timeless principles to the ever-changing circumstances of life, finding wisdom and virtue in every new situation. Imagine a man who initially uses Stoic principles to cope with workplace stress, but finds that his approach needs adjustment as his life changes. A rigid interpretation would prevent him from adapting his practices. True Stoicism, however, would encourage him to evolve his understanding and application of Stoic principles to meet his current needs. Consider David, who starts practicing Stoicism to handle stress at his corporate job. As his life evolves, he gets married, has children, and starts his own business. His rigid Stoic approach, focusing solely on professional stress, no longer fits his new circumstances. By embracing the flexibility of Stoic teachings, David adapts his practices to his evolving life, finding new ways to apply wisdom, patience, and resilience in his roles as a husband, father, and entrepreneur. Recognizing Stoicism as a dynamic and adaptable philosophy helps in fully embracing its teachings. Conclusion. In exploring these 7 misconceptions, we've revealed the deeper layers of Stoic philosophy and its true applications. By understanding that Stoicism is not about suppressing emotions but managing them wisely, we can cultivate healthier emotional lives. Recognizing that Stoicism does not require absolute self-reliance, but values community and interdependence, aids in building strong relationships and seeking support when needed. True Stoic success is measured by inner virtues rather than external achievements, shifting our focus from material gains to personal growth. By distinguishing between what we can control and what we cannot, we foster serenity and reduce unnecessary stress. Understanding that Stoicism allows for the enjoyment of pleasures without being enslaved by them brings balance to our lives. The teachings of Stoic philosophers encompass daily practices and attitudes that assist in navigating both minor inconveniences and major crises. Stoicism encourages consistent self-improvement and mindfulness in all aspects of life. Think of someone dealing with daily traffic stress. A misunderstanding of Stoicism might suggest it's irrelevant to such minor annoyances. However, a Stoic approach involves using techniques like deep breathing, reframing thoughts, and practicing patience to maintain calm and perspective. Consider Tom, who faces a stressful commute every day. Instead of seeing this as a minor inconvenience, he applies Stoic principles to improve his experience. He practices deep breathing, reframes his thoughts, and uses the time for reflection. By doing so, he turns a daily frustration into an opportunity for personal growth and mindfulness. Remember, true Stoicism is about applying timeless principles flexibly to the evolving circumstances of life. Embrace these insights to deepen your understanding and application of Stoicism in your journey toward a more serene and fulfilling life.